not here to teach anyone. I'm here just to exchange experience and what learnings we went through and what practice we believe that it may add value to the participants. We believe that the credit management, it is the next oil. I believe if we look at whatever economies, whatever like trades, exports, all of it, its background, it's a credit. It is somehow easy to invest. It is easy to market, but it is a bit difficult to measure the risk on the credit. And that's why we believe more in the economy, which is a very much important element for individuals and all different type of society. So yes, it is, and it can be the next oil. As I've been introduced so far, I'm your brother أخوكم أيمن الوادي. اشتغلنا في قصة نجاح ندعي يمكن تكون قصة نجاح. We started from a very much basic understanding. We tried to learn more and more. We've done a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes actually took us to a better position, and that better position actually we kept elevating and custom to region. These slides I don't need actually to read. I can see there is a development in Sultanate of Oman. I can see there is a leadership led to credit outlook. I can see there is much businesses, much projects, much investments, and all of it explained on all these numbers. This is the positive side of the story. And as we said, more business, more complex. More business, you need to measure its risk, and you need to mitigate that risk. And sometimes you need to accept the risk. And most of the time you need to deal with it and manage it. So this is what all about business and growth in our industry. As I said earlier, and as a human being, the debtor, he is not a criminal person unless he is. The debtor, he went through a financial situation he couldn't handle, and this can happen to any one of us, and it can happen even to bigger scale of corporates. So the definitions today we need actually just to exchange together that the debtor, he is one like us. The debtor, he is a person or a company or an exporter or a trader couldn't manage to collect his debt. And as he couldn't collect his debt, he became a debtor. So this is one thing we need to agree together on it. As a human being, we practice in the GCC and along with our global partner in 150 countries. There is a very much acceptable, respectable behavior of the debtor. If he felt a threat, if he felt he won't be able to manage his financial, he might leave the country. And it is not end of the story. Yes, in the financial books, we put a full provision on it, and it looks as in B&L book, it is a loss, but it is very much important to understand what's next. How can we handle such? So we do respect the behavior of the debtor when he's leaving a region where he couldn't fulfill commitment, but it is our duty how to trace and how to talk and establish a civilized, making sense dialogue and to reach for a successful settlement. Fine. As I said, it is not collection. First of all, what I believe personally, collection, you need to collect whatever the ways or whatever the method. But we believe in settlement. settlement where you need to understand what is the whole situation and what is the practical set of solution. And in my opinion, debt collection, it is not enough. And the litigation, it is not enough. And as I said, with more business and more complex, I find corporates, I find entrepreneurs, I find a lot of different type of traders. They're dealing with a debt collection agency, then they're dealing with a law firm, then they're dealing with a credit risk advisory, and they're dealing with many stakeholders. And over the 27 years, we felt that it should be one-stop solution, contain all these as a credit risk supply chain. This is what we did achieve. This is what we believe. As I said, it is not about how to collect your debts. It's not about only how to measure the risk and the credit you're giving to the market. So the supply chain, we believe, it is one window and one-stop solution with the start from and prior to the debt taking place, before the risk. So the first driver in that supply chain, the receivable management. So you sell your product or the services, and each day there is a due date of how much each corporate needs to collect. In fact, and from the experience, any corporate won't collect at maximum 25 to 35% on its due date. And as such, we believe even from before the due date, there is a set of action need to be put in place. Certain type of reminders to be custom according to the audience or the people you're dealing with. This product, when you make your payment as a priority and you remind in a proper way the debtor, or not a debtor, he's still a regular account. This will enhance the possibility of the liquidity, enhance the possibility to reduce the risk. So there are three here takeaways, learnings we would like to share today. Receivable management will reduce the cost, reduce the risk, enhance the cash liquidity. So here still, we are not talking about the debt collection. We're talking about very much prior to the debt to take place. Of course, as I said, each day there is due dates for payments by end of the 30 days. Usually you're collecting 25–35%. This driver over a 12-month, you will see the facts and figures in terms of the three things I mentioned, the learnings we got, how to reduce the risk and the cost and enhance the success rate of the collection in the 30 days, in the 60 days, in the 90 days. Then, when you get closer before the debt taking place, you will be in position to answer 5 questions. Because you get in touch with him prior to the due date, and on the due date, and after the due date, and within 30 days. So from the first early 30 days, you would be in position to answer these questions with us or with whoever. Is it collectible or not collectible? Domestic or across border? Legal or amicable? Short or medium or long term? So when you do extra handling, extraordinary handling in the first 30 days, you would be yourself in position just to answer these 5 questions. And with those questions, you enhance the possibility of the collection and reduce amount of debt in the first 30 days. Going further, we will talk now about the debt collection. The debt collection, it is an art. It is something, if you are not passionate about it, don't do it. It is something adding value, and it is something need to done in a human way, and it is something need to be done within a logic. So first of all, need to trace and establish a dialogue with the debtor. Going further, after establishing that dialogue, you don't need to tell him, I need this to be paid. This is wrong, according to our experience. What you need to do to understand the reason of default. Right after you know the reason of default, you need to be fair in terms of the debt collection. So if there is a valid dispute, you need actually to sort out that valid dispute. You need actually, as today, to understand all these elements. So establishing the communication, it is not about to pick up the phone and to say, you need to do this payment. Understand the reason of default. Establish a good dialogue. And it is the collector rule and duty to come up with a practical set of solutions, suiting in real life the debtor situation, the market he's in, and of course with the acceptable margin of risk when it will come to the debtor interest we presenting. Debt collection with these type and number of growth and business, what we experienced, it is 40 to 60% a good scenario that will happen amicably. Again, so what we will be doing, and this is the reason where the experience we went through explained to us that it is not only collection. So within whatever, like according to the credit policy, if it's like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, if he's still not paying in the amicable way, you need to practice at that point of time the legal rights, and should be within a law firm where they are expert in those type of litigation, understanding the condition and terms, understanding how many creditors and buyers and seller and what was the condition. So in that legal side of the story, this is what accomplishing the amicable side of the debt collection. And the classic legal framework, we find it is not enough sufficient. So we created that to share risk with the client. So sometimes your client don't have the legal budget to fund that litigation. And this is where we find that it is an area of improvement where we created, along with our legal partners, that we funding these and we taking a risk along with our clients. This is a side of like how to link between the amicable and the legal. So this is what an experience we find ourselves we would like to share today, and hopefully it should add value. Everyone as a credit manager or an account manager add value. Question and answer, it is not the time for it. We will be listening more to Credit Oman, to EOS, to the legal framework, Mr. Duraid Al-Sa'doun, how to connect the legal dots between all these elements. So thank you very much for listening, and I wish this add some value to our business daily activity. Thank you very much.